hey, stop clicking around. I need to show you this right now. Now there's a
We're on easy street, and it feels so sweet, 'cause the world is but a treat when you're on easy street.
Welcome to the Easy Street Radio Show, hosted by Rob Scribner. Grab a cup of coffee and let's get started. Hey, thanks for watching our video. Please take the time to like, subscribe, and share our videos all over the whole wide world. This will help us grow. Also note, buying some of our merchandise or donating to our channel is very helpful also. Thank you for supporting our show. Well, hello everyone, this is RangerRob, better known as Rob Scribner, your host, and welcome to Easy Street. And yes, this is episode 18. Want to welcome you to the show. Got kind of a new layout here, so I'll probably fumble here a little bit. I am sitting in the bushes here. I don't know where I got this background. But got lots of things to talk about, and we only have a half hour. So I need to remind you that you can find Easy Street on Good Talk Radio. And we're also on what's called Spreaker. So let me show you real quick what Spreaker is. Now, and the reason I want you to know about Spreaker is a place where you might, in the future, like to make your own podcasts and stuff. And one is it's very affordable. Two is a great way to record your podcasts and have a built-in chat board with it, and people can easily download your podcast. So it's a really good platform, and we have lots of other platforms, but we like to send people to Spreaker. And in our description, you will find a link to our Spreaker. All right, chill out. All right, I know it'll make me feel better. Yay! Okay, so Spreaker. And so speaking of Spreaker, on the screen you see that we have someone highlighted today, and I'm trying to make it a goal to I got my chat way over to the side on another monitor now, and so I'm finding that it's a little hard to read. So ABQ, I believe, Skies, welcome to the show. Anyway, so on the screen you're seeing a gentleman that is a syndication on our Good Talk Radio, and his name is Mike Myers. His show is called Radio Hope. So what is Radio Hope? I'm going to play a little excerpt of his show in a minute. And I'm overamping my mic? Huh, that's odd. So anyway, I'll get back to that in a minute. So yeah, we just kind of redid our studio layout here a little bit, so I got to get used to this. So what I want to do is tell you about Mike first. Mike has a 1 hour show every day on Good Talk Radio with us, and he's kind of different. So if you're Christian or lately Christian, and you're right, we are really blowing the, let me bring it down a level, see if that helps. Why are we blowing out? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you're right. We are really blowing out our microphone here. Let's go bring this down a little bit more. That should be a little bit better. All right. Looks like we might have bumped the buttons on our mixer. So anyway, is that better? Is that better, ABQ? Can you, do we bring it down? I'll look for you. It shows on my screen that we're doing better. So, yeah, wow. Not sure how we managed that. I think we're moving some equipment around here, and I think we hit one of our keys on here. Okay, thank you for letting me know that. Wow, never had that happen before. So let me get back to Mike. So Michael if you're a little bit Christian or maybe thinking about it, maybe you're just, this guy's, what I like about his show is he does have really strong faith, but he's real. I mean, super real, like beyond real. So when you listen to him, the average redneck would like him. And so let me play about a minute or a minute and a half of his show and see what you think. So this is Mike Myers from the Radio Hope, and he plays at 7 in the morning, I believe, Arizona time on our radio station. And you can catch him on Spreaker, and I put a link in the description where you could catch up with him.
Good day. Welcome to another episode in the life of the Muckster. Radio Hope, less, more, or less. Your host, Mike Myers. I gotta tell you, be angry and do not sin. Did Jesus really get angry and he didn't sin, or is that just a story going around? I mean, come on. So these guys are in his father's house making money. Money, 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 money. He was upset. He was a little perturbed. He was just a little bit angry. So he made a whip. How come he can make a whip and start smacking that thing around, or whatever you call it when you do a with a whip? Not that I would know. Leather, yes. Whips, no. And not be angry. You see, he can have righteous anger. Oh my gosh. Good morning, Zach.
So that's a little sample of Mike. Like I said, he's like kind of an oddball, but what a great show. He does a show every single day. I hardly ever skips a beat, and sometimes he'll do an extra show for an interview. So super, super neat guy. So check out his show. It's called Radio Hope with Mike Myers. He's on, I guess he's on at 6 a.m. with us. Now I'm reading the card here. And of course, people on the East Coast, it's a different time for everybody. And West Coast at Pacific time, I believe it's 7 a.m. So yeah, or so I get so confused. So anyway, Mike Myers, check him out. And like I said, every show I want to try to give some folks either a shout out or bring on a live guest. And we're actually starting to line up some live guests to be on Skype with us. So that'd be kind of fun. Looking forward to that. Used to do that a lot. And yeah, so anyway, so a new thing I got on the screen here, which I've never used before, and let's see if it works. I got to push a little button and it should change my picture. Look at that. Amazing what technology will do. And take time to learn the software. So anyway, guys, we're going to change subjects to the coronavirus. So currently, the number of infected people is now 43,093 folks, which if you want to watch those numbers, that's what they're saying. And my screen just changed over to 1,016 folks have passed away. And that's a lot. And the number of Americans went up to 13. And that just happened. So I haven't heard where, and I haven't seen any articles about where yet. But yeah. And gosh, I feel really bad about blowing out my mic. Anyway, so my wife and I were kind of talking. And I don't like to be conspiracy theory things, but you know, it's kind of like you want to think about if this thing was intentional, who would do it, and who would, like, for example, United States or somebody that's an ally could have done it and to cause havoc with China because they were getting kind of powerful. You know, that's one way to look at it. And then some people say, well, maybe China did it to themselves and they need to thin out the population. But either one doesn't make sense. The United States depends on the manufacturing from China. And in fact, my RangerRob poopy bags, we depend on that too. And it doesn't really make sense for us to want to do that to them. And it doesn't really make sense for them to want to do it to themselves because, I mean, yeah, they have a lot of folks, but their economy is going to take a blistering, something fierce. And that's kind of scary. Oh, good. Thank you very much. I had to check I've never had problems with my sound, and I'm actually embarrassed. And so anyway, so Sherry and I were talking about conspiracies on this kind of stuff. It's like, the bottom line is maybe we should, everybody wants to have a conspiracy. Maybe it just happened. And those poor folks, they've got not only coronavirus, but they also got the bird flu, and they got a couple of things that come back. I can't remember some of them. A swine flu, a bird flu. They're killing off a whole bunch of their animals, which is food, and they're just having a really bad year. So maybe, if you want to take one more conspiracy, which I don't know if it's conspiracy, it could be a religious aspect of it. You ever notice almost every continent's got something odd going on? Europeans have got their issues. Africa's got locusts everywhere. Poor folks down in Australia, they got fires. I really don't know what's going on in Latin America, except there was an article today that down in Brazil that they're having an issue with a particular virus, and it just came out today. I'm not really talking that much about it till I see more articles, but yeah, it's kind of insane, and I'm kind of like, what's going to really happen on our continent if it's going to be like that? If each continent's got like something they have to deal with, then you kind of, you look at Canada, United States, Mexico, Latin America, semi-quiet. They've had a few earthquakes, stuff like that, but nothing catastrophic or crazy like some of the other countries or continents. So I'm not sure if I'm going to want to look forward to what happens over here, if you looked at it in a biblical kind of way. So kind of scary, huh? So yeah, I don't know what to say about that other than they now have quarantined 80 cities, including Beijing. So that doesn't help. But I heard also, I was watching today, that they're also letting people go back to work. But it doesn't look like, it looks like 25% when you look at the reports, because their buses and their trains are still pretty empty. So they're trying not to lose it. And we really don't want them to. You guys really want that cheap stuff at Walmart, and you say, oh, no, we get American made. But as soon as the prices go up and we have them made here, you'll complain. It's our own fault. So either we learn that, hey, you'd rather spend a little bit extra money for American goods, or we continue to do this offloading and this globalist thing. And this is what the globalist thing would do. If one country goes down, we all go down, and that's not good. I'm wondering if this will actually cause us to, well, like iPhones. Are they going to get to a point going, you know what, that was not worth it, we're going to build them here? And what if, do you think maybe we might actually see some manufacturing coming back because of this scare and the reality of like how delicate our manufacturing and making things here in the United States can be disrupted so bad? I come from an aerospace company that makes airplanes, where I retired from, and the 787 and lots of our planes, even the 737, they have parts and pieces built in China too. So I mean, everything's affected. And it's Muck Radio. Hey, Rob. Michael, you're here. You just missed us. We were just talking about you. I actually even played some in your radio show. So you missed out on my mic blowout. I had my knobs way up. I don't know how I did it, but I was embarrassed. So anyway, that's all I'm going to pretty much say on this subject. YouTube doesn't really like us talking this subject. I've been doing pretty good at not getting my hand slapped too bad. But yeah, the next thing I really wanted to talk about is your voice. And that's part of my title today. And what do I mean by your voice? Is it seems like to me, all of us are kind of getting in our own little world, and we just get, for example, if you talk to kids in colleges or you talk to people nowadays, they're in such a fast pace and going like crazy that yes, let's pray. Thanks, Mike. Anyway, yeah, I was telling them that your humor was kind of unique. So anyway, so getting back to your voice. And the reason I want to talk about your voice is it's time for us to start using our voices. All of us are getting so passive. We're all getting to this point of, like I talk to my kids or something like that, and I have no clue what's going on. Now, obviously, I kind of know way more than I should. And so what happens is I talk about things and they're kind of like, Dad, you're crazy. But they just don't have a clue of what's going on in regular news, let alone politics and stuff. And so what I'm emphasizing on this show is, guys, put your big boy pants, put big girl pants on, and use your voice by either participating in shows like this and commenting and using your power to communicate. Oh, really? ABQ. I think yeah, that is a Q, right? So anyway, the screen's far away. I got to redesign this platform here. So anyway, yeah, you have to eye me later and tell me a little bit more about what you used to do. Obviously, you know that I probably came from a company with the letter B in front of it, up in Washington State. Anyway, so anyway, so squirrel. So before I get going, I got to throw in a little word about my sponsor, RangerRob Poopy Bags. It's now time to get excited about picking up your dog's waste. A bigger, deeper quality waste bag. Our bags are available at Amazon with free shipping. Get them today. Yep, today, right now. You can actually even leave the show, go to Amazon, go buy your poopy bags. Why do we always keep pushing the poopy bags? Well, because I'm going to do a show about them here sometime this week, where I want to talk about Amazon FBA. And so how many people say, I should start a business, or I want to invent something, or I want to do something. I don't want to be working for the man anymore. And so I'm doing a form of it. And is it easy? No. Mike thinks I'm getting rich. There's one thing about having a product, then having the product out there to sell. The hardest part is getting a product out there marketed. There's where you need money. And according to Mike, I think he's willing to loan it to me. I'm pretty sure of it. Anyway, otherwise, it's a little slower process for little people like us that do RangerRob Poopy Bags. And I do want to focus Rob. Oh, I sound like Mike. So what I want to talk about is how we designed the idea of the RangerRob Poopy Bag and what it entailed to actually create this product. And why we wanted to fill a niche, and also the cost involved, the planning, the working with the manufacturing, the quantities. You have to buy high quantities to get your prices down. You have to be competitive. And then, is your product good? And you have to check your quality, and you have to check all this stuff. It was a lot of work. Took a year, half a year to get the first product done, and a full year to get the second two done after that. Because once we had a product, some people says, "Oh gosh, could you put them on rolls, please?" So I'm back. We had to do that too. So that set us back another 6 months just to develop that. Turning out that, by the way, when our bags are so uniquely large, we had to have special dies made for ours, just to put them on rolls. So yeah, I mean, there's always a complication to all this stuff. So, but getting back to, got Mike back up here. Let me go back to this screen and then this screen and talk about your voice. So what I want to do is people either motivate people to watch more shows that they are interested in, and making sure that if anything, if you're kind of shy and don't want to be in front of cameras or be on a radio show, leave comments, but leave good comments. Don't be a troll. Don't be a smart aleck. Be a debater. Debater's great. We grew up learning how to do debating, real, the proper kind. Let me check my notes here real quick. And sorry, I'm just reading my notes. Mike says he definitely runs RangerRob commercials every day. He calls me Rob Poopy Bag Scribner. And unfortunately, I've repeated that over here in my family. And now, guess what they do? I didn't really think about being a poopy bag man, and I didn't think, if somebody told me 30 years ago, hey Rob, when you grow up, you're going to be the owner of a company that makes poopy bags. Well, back in those days, we didn't even pick up after our dogs. So that would have really shocked me. So let me get my rum and coke going here. Yeah. This is what keeps me going every day. Actually, it's cranberry juice. And so anyway, so in podcasting, first of all, do not take your microphone like this and have the settings too high where you blow out your listeners. And I hate that. I just hate making mistakes like that. Especially if I've done this for so long, it just shouldn't happen. Mike, are you smoking still? I told you to quit that stuff. That medical stuff that you keep saying. I know what it is. It's not in a bottle, is it? If you come over here, at least it's legal. Anyway, Mike, you're getting me sidetracked. I'm squirreling here. So what I want to do throughout the shows here is motivate people to do what I'm doing. I'm probably making this harder than it really should be. Most people do a podcast and don't even do the visual. And they sign up for a platform like Spreaker. And by the way, once you set up for Spreaker and you get your shows going, you can actually have it monetized. So I do not actually pay for my Spreaker. It's very affordable, but I'm actually making money off of it. Not a whole lot, but Mike Myers, he's making big bucks. He's rolling in the dough, aren't you, Mike? Okay, I'll be quiet. Yes. Anyway, Mike keeps thinking I'm getting rich, but he doesn't realize that, yeah, I'm selling poopy bags, but I'm also paying for advertising. So guess what? It's still a negative. But that's how it goes. That's how business is. And so I figured it was going to take me till a couple of years to really build up the business. I know we have a good product, so that helps. And yeah. So we want to be a platform that helps people get their voice. And so if you want to become a podcaster and be behind the scene kind of podcaster where you don't have to be seen, just heard, easy to do. And you really don't have to spend a lot of money to get started. You can actually get a very simple system going for, let's say worst case scenario, $150. 100 if you're really frugal. So yeah. And then set up a platform where you can, some people make their own platforms. Like I have a radio show called RV Talk Radio. I make my own recordings there. I upload them to my website, and the website transmits them to tons of places. It's called a RSS feed. But there's simpler ways to do it. We've done them all. So yeah, if you ever need advice or like to talk to us about how to get started, we'd be happy to. And if you just want to be, maybe you already have a show, or maybe you're doing stuff already and you want to be heard, this is just another platform to do that on, and we're happy to share. And every time I do the show, a half hour goes by fast. And so, yeah, it's driving me crazy. So I talked about on the virus thing. I wanted to make sure and say, do you think it's a conspiracy or not? That's really kind of comments I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? Oh, Mike. What did you comment that made them want me to hold your comments back? Nah. Oh, okay. Well, ABQ, we're here for you. If there's some questions, or you'd like to get some ideas, and even ask about what kind of software we use and stuff, microphones, mixers, any of that stuff. And when we refer stuff, I'm not going to refer to expensive stuff we have now. I'm going to tell you what we started with, and it worked great for years. Now, the microphone you see me using is a Hex, a Heal, H-E-I-L. Let's see if I can get it in the screen here. It's a very expensive microphone if you don't put the settings on wrong, but you can get a microphone with a boom for $39 to get started with. I have like 4 of them, and so when my studio was bigger, I used to have guests come on and actually would set up a whole table full of microphones and put on shows like that. So yeah, you can do it affordably. In the mixers, you just start with like a 2 or 3 channel mixer and start with that. And later on, we use a 8 channel now, but I'm actually only using 3 channels. So I have a separate microphone set up off to the side, and I also have a telephone hookup for when we take phone calls, and I'm not ready to take phone calls yet. And gosh, I'm still running out of time. I can't believe it. Let me make sure I cover these guys. These guys are called the Woofu Live. I read the numbers from the other site. This one says 43,102, and it shows 1,018 deaths, as opposed to the one I was just telling you about earlier. I do want to remind you that you can find all of our shows on RangerRob.com. And as soon as it pulls up, hello, here it is. We actually own and actually hold the trademark for RangerRob. And so we actually have the domain called RangerRob.com. So if you ever want to find it or get on our newsletter, is what I wanted to talk about. Anytime we have a new video, once a week, the newsletter only goes out if we've made new videos. And if you sign up and you decide you don't want emails from us in the future, of course, at the bottom there's an unsubscribe. So if you get a chance to go to rangerrob.com, go on there and sign up for our newsletter right at the top. And you won't be spammed. You only get an email if a new article or video is posted on the site. Very simple site, clean and not too busy, so easily. And it has links to all the different things that Ranger Rob does. We have Cooking with Ranger Rob, and we have the poopy bags in there where our Spreaker show is, and we're all part of the Cutting Edge Radio Network, which we own that too. And you can find us on Good Talk Radio, and you can find that on the website. So yeah, all kinds of good stuff. And man, I got so much going on here, and I got to get more time. I just need more time. So one more thing I want to pull up is Good Talk Radio, where you can find Mike Myers' show and my shows, and it's called Good Talk Radio, which is a full-time 24/7 radio station with music and music license. And we play, if you go to the button, third button over from home, it says you can click on the side here. It goes to our schedule, and you can see where all of our shows are currently. Did I hit the button right? Come on, there it is. Oh, it's doing something funky here. Huh. I think it's not happy to be on this particular screen. But anyway, if you hit the schedule, it'll show you where the Mike Myers show is at, and it is operating properly. It's just having trouble with the software I'm using. Also, if you just want to hear straight up, just go to the Listen Now button and listen to us there. You can use any of your podcasting apps to pull up our radio station. Just put Good Talk Radio. iTunes is or TuneIn is the best place to go to get us. Let me get my pretty face back up here. Hello, pretty face. I'm back. So so I'm running out of time. I hate this. Next day or two, we'll be talking about Amazon affiliates. We're going to talk about prepping a little more. We're going to have some guests on, and we'll be doing more shout outs for other shows. And I want to thank you so much for listening. Sorry about the microphone being too high at the beginning. I will not make that error again. Until next time. So anyway, guys, I got to get scooting. Thank you for joining me. You guys be safe, be healthy, and have a great week.